Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday morning. Time to get up and get going. If I look like I just got up, I don't know what it is about this week, but mornings have been difficult and evenings I've gotten tired early. So I guess it's a momentum catch-up week today on The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Welcome, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Dealer again on Wednesday morning, Crazy Picker Life. The show that shows some of it. Oh my gosh. I'll have to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so I've got to get Banana Peeler packing on some of these orders. I wanted to show them. We've been getting momentum, and that's good. I don't mind showing it off. I think most of the comments on my videos say that it inspires people. Well, it inspires me too to keep making videos and keep listing. It makes me think a little bit that I got this business under control. Certainly, you cannot control all aspects of your life and your business, but if you've done a certain business or a certain operation like buying and selling for a while, there are some things in that business that you can control, and you can turn the volume up and down depending on what you want to do with the business. I've got to do something with these invoices here for a moment, and then I'll show you. Okay, so this morning I've got 9 orders for the main camera channel. I've got, let me think, 5 other orders right now spread across the other channels. So I just wanted to show you an overview of these for a moment. Good orders, good items. We've got a Hasselblad lens hood, another lens hood, some sort of a Pentax 6x7 lens hood, digital camera, lens, 2 lens order, and another lens. And then the order size on these is getting to be pretty good and pretty interesting, which lines up with what we've been trying to do. There's $169.99 plus some shipping. This lens hood's just $24. This one is $57. By the way, that's a international. Ooh, that's an international order, that first one. This is a good digital camera sale for us, $332. Here's another one for parts. It's $30 plus some shipping. This lens is $79.99. This one is $79.99, and if we flip our invoice over here, $54.99 and $35.99. Okay, so why do I show those order totals? Why don't I break it down and show every last expense that I've incurred to sell those? Why don't I show my tax return? Oh my gosh. So anyway, we've been trying to do something here with our camera stuff. I have been taking the big picture view and saying that, hey Wheeler, you know your camera stuff, and we can have access to some higher price stuff. You should be listing that instead of things that are lower cost and all that. It's like if you list one item and it takes you 20 minutes, well, wouldn't you rather list a $300 item as compared to a $20 item? You make more money on the $300 item typically. More sales. Now if you buy the $300 item for $299 and you make $1, and you buy the $20 item for $1 and you make $19 gross, obviously that doesn't make sense. But typically the higher priced items, we make it could even be a smaller margin, but we make more per item. So a $300 item, we might make $100 to $250, let's say. Typically $100 if we bought it in sort of a tight individual market, $250 or more on a $300 item if we bought it in bulk with some other items. $20 item, if we buy that separately, typically we're going to try to triple our money or better. If we buy a $20 item in bulk, we might pay $1 for it. We're not going to pay $15 for a $20 sale item. That would be stupid. And typically we're not going to pay, say, $250 for a $300 sale item and make 10 bucks or something after expenses. That doesn't make any sense either. Okay. And ours is a little complicated, the way we sell things with free shipping and everything else. So these 9 items average about $100 per item on the sales side of it. That's high for us. Typically we're at 45, 50 bucks across the board. And one of the goals was to get Wheeler's channel, get his cost per item up there, and then continue flowing in good items. So what we're really trying to do is create a camera channel where the standard item is a higher cost than our average has been. And I don't know what that cost will end up. If it was $100 per item average, that would be great. I'm not sure that we can keep that average up and not go crazy on the low cost stuff, because typically the way we're buying right now, we get a lot of lower cost items along with those higher cost items. So I hope that's, you know, somewhat interesting. Momentum is bringing that whole result about quicker, with me listing all the cheaper stuff and the less desirable stuff. That result is happening quicker. We're starting to see the results. Pretty soon I'm going to be going to the shelves and weeding out a lot of the lower cost stuff and a lot of the stuff that's not selling. So the plan that we put in place late last fall, in fact in December we started doing this, is slowly coming around. Now there's a lot of fallout from it. There's a lot of messing around and deciding who lists what, and there's a lot of sorting and some other things involved in that, but part of that was just getting used to our new space here. Okay, so lots of heated comments, lots of typical comments, lots of nice comments in the last video and some of the videos. You know, no matter what, when you put videos out there, you're going to get comments all across the board. I mean, if you're not a good person and you're not making quality videos, you might get more worse comments. If you're making something valuable to people, you'll get pretty good comments, but you're always going to get some crappy ones. Oh my goodness. So some people have some beefs, right? In this case, they want to see me naked. No, not really naked, but they want all the information. They're sick of just seeing the numbers, right? They just want to see everything. They want to strip this business down. And you know, I don't know if the comment about seeing tax return was real or not, but you know, if somebody is successful or showing some signs of success or talking big, you know, wow, we had a big sales day. You know, there are people that want to strip that to the bone, and mostly what they want to do is they want to poke holes in it. They want to find, oh no, you know, dealer had $1,000 day, but you know, it took him way too long and too many hours, and he works from early till late, and by the time you take all his costs out of there, he's only making a couple bucks. And you know, fine, you can think that, whatever you want to think, we do okay. But you know, the disclaimer in this business, and I'm certainly not going to get naked here. I don't want anybody to see my my 50-year-old beer drinking gut. Dealer, you're naked. We see your beer drinking gut. We knew it. We knew there was a beer drinking gut in there. We knew it. You were hiding it. You were standing sideways. You weren't showing the full thing, were you? Oh my gosh. Everybody knew it, but nobody wanted to say it. You weren't doing your sit-ups. We knew there was a big, fat, naked, beer-drinking gut in there, you loser. Oh, that's what they want to, that's what they want with this business. They want to see the beer-drinking gut, right? Well, here's the reality of our picking business and a lot of successful pickers businesses, and I think some of them have it sorted out even better than we do. And I also think that even though we're got kind of thick heads, we're starting to sort it out too. And part of that is planning, and part of that is growth, and part of that is sticking with it and making the mistakes. And so, here's the truth about this business and most small businesses. There's always the person who what's that book out there, the 1 hour workday, no, the 4-minute lunch, I don't remember what it is, but basically for the 4-hour work week, I don't know what it is. This dude did that. And part of it is anytime you have a technology shift, like we've had a big technology shift in the last 30 years, all the way going back from when computers were sort of just, excuse me, sort of just coming in the 80s and 90s, and they were expensive and small businesses were starting to use them, all the way to the big race to the year 2000 and all the ups and downs and all the leverages that people have gotten in the last 20 years of using the internet, all the ups and downs. There are a lot of people that rise quickly, seemingly quickly, in different businesses, right? And so a lot of those get showcased, and some of them dance around, and some of them are more real than others. But there's this shift in technology, and of course there's there's fortunes to be made. But most of those people paid their dues one way or another. Some of them are idiots. Some of them dance around and wave their money around. Some of them are lucky, which again typically is they've worked hard. Some of them are good people. But for the rest of us, the average person that wants to work for themselves and start a small business and has some other criteria, like for me, I'd like to be close to home. I'd like to include my family if they want to be involved. I'd like to use it as a teaching tool for my family. The idea of me getting rich quick or getting rich and going off and buying an island or something, that's sort of ridiculous. That's not really what we're doing here. I would like to make a good living. I'd like to, take care of all the necessities of my family. I'd like to go have some fun once in a while, go on some nice vacations once in a while. I'd like to have a few hobbies. Like to have decent vehicles. I'd like to be able to treat my wife to a few goodies once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So, the truth of this business, this small business that we've created here, is it is a lot of hours. It's a lot of work. It's working sometimes when you don't want to work. It's taking some time off sometimes when you want to take time off. But for the most part, it is a lot of hours and it is a lot of work. And what you put in, you get out. Dollars per hour? Look, I can't go get a surgeon job where I go in and get $200 average per hour and $1,000 an hour when my hands are in somebody's brain. This is what I do. Dollars per hour, I haven't calculated it. I don't care. I don't care if it's $10 per hour. I don't care if it's $75 per hour. It's somewhere between there, and it's decent. It's very good. Let's just say it's very good. I don't calculate that. Why would I? It's hard to, first of all. When does my work stop and when does my work start? I don't know. I'm in my jammies right now. My wife is all dressed up in her business attire. She's down there working hourly, you know, at her position. I'm in my jammies. I guess I'm working. Oh, dollar expenses. I mean, my top 5 expenses, right? Inventory, people that work with me, for me, fees like eBay fees and PayPal fees, postage, and then travel to acquire stuff. Those are my big 5 expenses. That's, you know, that's what they are. At the end of the day, if you don't control those expenses, you won't make any money. Another expense that we had that was a good size expense was our rental location, our business location. We've cut that down. But even though we have business at home, there's expenses at home. I had to put in a floor. I had to mount some equipment. I had to make some things fit here. I've had to pay a little storage fee. So even working at home, it's not that expense is not cut out. So expenses are what they are. Call them high, low, whatever. So the bottom line is, you have to, when you work, you have to do the right things. Even then, you have to work pretty hard. And whether you work long hours or short hours, you know, it depends how smart you are, I guess, if you work smart versus hard. And then you've got to buy your things right, and you've got to keep the rest of your expenses in check. That's about as clear on this business as I'm gonna get. Now, I did make some videos in the past where I broke down the cost of a picking trip. I've talked about some other costs, just to give you an example of what this business can do for you. We did shut down the business for about 5.5 weeks, and we went on a 6-week picking trip with no auctions running. We stayed in a nice place. We stayed by the ocean. We did a couple weeks of traveling. I know some other pickers who do some of these things too. We did make a lot of contacts while we were out there. We did do some weekly picking and laid some groundwork so we could go back and do some picking over there. We had some fun times. But this business can allow you to do that, to travel if you want. All right, so that's what I'm going to leave you with on that. I do appreciate the comments there. And we're going to go about our day and pack up some orders and have a basketball camp and do some school and list some things. And gosh, what else? Better check my watch. Nobody's yelling at me. I better get some clothes on and get the kids to the basketball camp. That's it for today. Pick well, list often, dealer out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer production.